You can be in exotical and black spaces. Some mixed celebrities, sorry, multiracial celebrities or celebrities, multicultural, whatever, they even dip in and dip out and casually inside of black spaces, and you can too. Let's get started. So you can stay within black spaces, exotical Barbies, because I know there's some exotical Barbies who love the black culture, and they embrace it, and they're monocultural in the black community, which is, by the way, again, if it works for you and you benefit from it and you enjoy it, then do it. But if you know even that you benefit from it, but only from a temporarily standpoint, you know what I'm saying? And you have another community you can go to, do that. Do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And I'm going to give two examples of these. So for the ones that can benefit from it for a long term and long run, um, I would say it works as long as you're not a social justice warrior. Meaning, like, you're always standing up and talking for black women, black spaces, whatnot. Because don't get me wrong, if you want to represent, fine. But again, remember what happened to Zendaya in her earlier career when she was doing that. How she's, I remember I kept seeing black comments from black women saying, I like how she's standing up and talking for us, but I prefer a dark-skinned black one. And it's not a bad thing that they say that, but I realized it was kind of slowly about to backfire on her, which is why you really don't hear her talking about it as much. She just acknowledged, that, those type of things. But for that, but for some black women, in the especially specifically the exotical ones, it doesn't benefit them in the long run, only because they're not going, they want them to represent them the most, if that makes sense. Or they're going to probably, like, you know how narcissists be like, I want you to help me out, and they gonna make you take over, and then they gonna appreciate you, and then they go and they snap to them, targeting you, making fun of you, and attacking you. All of a sudden they want to get rid of you. That's how it is. Yeah. Okay. Like, that's why I say, if you're gonna do it, you better do it right. Where it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna benefit me in the long run, or like, I know for some of them it does, um, where they are in it, but they also, or like, you could be part of the black community and also part of other communities, meaning like you always have a spot there at the table. If that makes sense. Like Lori Harvey, I think, at least what I see, she does. She also partakes in other communities. Or Saweetie, I don't know how to say her name, so please don't get mad at me. Janae Akko, those type of girlies, they have a seat there, but they know when to dip in and dip out. You know what I'm saying? They know how to sit in a seat and then leave. Okay? And you're probably wondering, like, okay, when do I leave, when I go? Okay, if you study about narcissists and about toxic people, you know how they make those jokes. Like, for example, with Lori Harvey, when they start making jokes like, oh, she always leave a relationship, she can't stay in a relationship. You know how they joke? Remember how I said they're jokes? They're not joking. It's a warning. There we go. Bingo. That's one of the first signs. Or, for example, let's say for you, let's say you're not a celebrity, whatnot, and you like partake in an event or a group or whatever, and they, you feel part great in this black group or whatever, and then all of a sudden they start making jokes about light-skinned people, and you happen to be light-skinned. Leave. Okay? Those are the type of things where it's like, oh, time to go. You know what I'm saying? Microaggressions is when it's time to leave. Or when you see it happen to other people that have your phenotype, that is when it's your time to go. Okay? And that's for any group, by the way. But I'm talking about for specifically because I know there's exotic Barbies that partake in um, black spaces, but they also want to partake in other spaces while partaking in that, or they just want to stay within it. I'm just saying you can't stay within it for a long term and it won't harm you. For example, Nia Long, you know, because she is an exotical Barbie, and I would say she benefited for a long run. And but they will sometimes. I know sometimes they be like, "Oh, she was difficult to deal with and whatnot," but she's like darn straight. Okay. Also, too, trying to think of other ones, other people. Sometimes Beyonce, only because I noticed how some people throw her in and out of blackness a lot. When remember how they was like, oh, is that her real hair color? I feel like she bleached it, things like that. If anything, her right, oh, you better have more spaces if you notice that's happening too, and you still want to partake in that space. Because to be honest, Beyonce still loves her culture and where she belong or where she came from, whatnot. But she know to expand that because if you're kicked out, where you gonna land? You know what I'm saying? Um, with that being said, for people like you want to hop in, hop out, you know, like you want to see, but you also don't want to sit there for a long time, you know, not reserved, and you want to hop in, hop out whenever you want. Is that kind of like how I said earlier, you need to leave while you can, but also too, with the red flags, whatever, but also too, think about Zoe Salanda, even though the whole thing that's going on, I'm talking about beforehand, before all this. Because I know she did some things that caused her to, but I am definitely talking about how she used her multicultural, where she speaks a different languages and whatnot, where she's able to like go to different, you know. Also too, with that being said, you can just embrace. That's why I say be multicultural. So in case one try to kick you out, you can lean on the other side. You know, just make a silent exit. Yeah, make a silent exit because that does help you. Where you could be like, "Oh, hi guys, I'm back." You know, Sweetie, for example. I remember when she's being made fun of because things like, "Oh, she only got this career because she's a light skin, whatever." Guess what? She dipped on the other side because I think she's half Asian, right? I forgot, but I know she's mixed. But anyways, she goes with the other side and she enjoys that culture and whatnot, and then comes back. You know, all I'm saying is that that works, or you can broaden your community. Like Megan, what's her name? Megan Stallion. Sorry, I was getting confused with the word. Oh, with Megan Good it means Megan Thee Stallion. She has a wide fan base where white people know her, Latinas know her. You know, she has a wide fan base where it's like, I want to say like Beyonce. I don't know. I actually don't know, but I know a lot of people know her, right? Where she's able to connect with different cultures and different things, right? Because she's brought in her fan base, and so did other people as well. So, with that being said, you can, in conclusion, be, you can still be an exotical while being in a black space. You just have to know, you know, does your privilege work out over there? Can you stay there long term? Can you not? Whatever, you know, dip in, dip out, whatever, you know. So let me know. Comment down below. Subscribe. And for some more. Bye, Exotical Barbies.